I just took a DNA test, and it turns out I still enjoy swallowing every single lie that Juan Dixon has told me. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Raphael and I'm here to review Season 8, Episode 6 of The Real Housewives Who Didn't Care to Go Through Their Cheating Husband's Phone of Potomac. We start the episode off right where we left off, where Wendy was kind of getting exposed by Aneka when she refused to acknowledge who Lebe was, when we clearly saw in the flashback she was at your event, you gave her a whole speech, but now you don't know her. So Wendy, she's trying to clean it up in the confessional by saying, well, I mean, yeah, Lebe was at my event, but so was Giselle. Which I don't get the correlation with that, or I'm not sure what she was trying to prove with that, but okay. So then she throws it back at Aneka and she's like, Aneka, were you at my event to witness that, or were you still in LA doing crack? And I'm just looking at Wendy like, you know you're wittier than that. So then in the confessional, they question her, how do you know Aneka does crack? And she says, well, if it quacks like a duck, it must do crack. Like, Wendy, you know you're better than that. So then Giselle, she wants to give her two tacky comments, and she's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's not put out these rumors, these allegations. Let's not put that out there. But Giselle, just a second ago last week, you had no issue jumping onto the Aneka train and believing anything that came out of her mouth. You were just saying a second ago, oh yeah, I believe you, Aneka. Yeah, Wendy's mom, she definitely does voodoo. She does shrines. She does all of that. I believe Aneka. So Karen jumps in it to try to break it up, and she tells them, oh, okay, everybody. Oh, okay, I do not like seeing two beautiful Nigerian women going against each other like this. If we're gonna move together collectively as a group, we need to do it with love. So they get up, they start dancing. Did anybody see what Mia was doing by the pool? She was dipping her booty hole into the pool, and I'm looking at her like, this must be a new dance move that I don't know about, obviously. So then Candace, she's noticing that they're trying to ice out Wendy off the show. She might need a new alliance for next season. She's looking at Aneka like, hey, Aneka, I'm trying to be a part of your team now. You know, how's it going? What's happening? How are you and Wendy's mom? So then Wendy, she overhears that and she comes over and she's like, Candace, can you please not mention me in this conversation with Aneka, or else I won't be streaming your song Drive Back, okay? So then she walks away and Candace, she's looking at her like, okay, so anyway, Aneka, what's your favorite song off my album, Deep Space? But could you imagine? So they start getting ready to go out to this restaurant, and Wendy's fashion is on a whole different level because I love the silver dress that she had on with the necklace. Just right. So they get in the trucks, they're on their way, and we see Aneka. She's in the truck with Giselle and Karen, and she's telling them, you know, I really wish that Wendy would have just told me, hey, the issue between you and my mom, I don't know what's going on, I'm not involved. Because I understand that sometimes moms, they say crazy things, so it's understandable. And I'm just looking at Aneka like, then how come you didn't initiate a conversation with Wendy to begin with? Instead, you did this whole press tour on Wendy's mom trying to say she did this, she did that, she did this, which is valid, but you went up to Robyn and Ashley, the two messiest in the group, first before you came to Wendy. When you finally addressed Wendy, well, it wasn't even one-on-one, it was you and her with a crowd of people, you called her a bitch. Like, it's too late now. You already caused a bunch of mess between both of you. They get to the restaurant and the waiter that looks like Fabio comes over to get their orders. Karen, she tells them, I'm just gonna nibble off somebody else's food because I don't feel like chewing tonight. Robyn was like, oh, so you feel like swallowing, which led Wendy to ask everybody at the table in front of Fabio, who here enjoys swallowing? Nobody raised their hand, but Robyn. First of all, I wish the fuck I would swallow for some unfaithful dick. Like, Robyn, really? Like, where's your self-pride, your self-love, your self-respect? Where is the shame? Not that you should be ashamed of swallowing, because I'm pretty sure that a couple of us have been there once or twice, or a couple of times, or we enjoy swallowing, right? You know, a couple of you enjoy it. Raise your hand if you enjoy swallowing. I'll participate too. How come nobody raised their hand? But I mean, could you imagine, you know, doing that for Juan Dixon? Next thing you know, you're just sitting there like, wait a minute. This tastes like some other bitch. Like, you could be tasting your next door neighbor and you have no idea. And I just know that the waiter, Fabio, he was standing there like, okay, I can't wait to tell the chef this. So anyways, Wendy, do you want fries with that? I mean, could you imagine? And I was with Karen when Karen said, I mean, with the headlines going on right now with Juan Dixon in them, I wouldn't be doing such a thing. Exactly, Karen, exactly. So then Aneka, she was like, Yes, I do participate in this activity myself. Thank you, Aneka. Ashley, she says, oh, you swallow? Really? I just let it sit in my mouth until he falls asleep. So now we're using our mouth as a microwave, Ashley? Like, I've never learned that method. I've never done such a thing. So that's... Actually, hold on. Try the Ashley method in the future and see how that goes. What? Mind your business. I mean, could you imagine? I'm guessing she's referring to Michael, but imagine doing that for Michael Darby. Absolutely. Let's say I was in that situation and he was about to do that, and he was like, "Oh, can you just swallow?" Absolutely not. Here's a towel. Finish here. Candace, she's sitting in her seat, she's squirming, she's like, ew, no, I'm not doing that, I'm not swallowing, I'd rather get pissed on. And I'm like, oh, so you're a freak, huh, Candace? Should I give my thoughts and experience on this? We can talk about it a different time, but let's just say that I understand where she's coming from. But then again, no, I don't, because she's talking about Chris, and Chris has no job, and that's the bare minimum requirement, because you are not pissing on me if you have no job. That's disrespectful. That's crazy, actually. If anything, Candace, I want you and Robyn to get better for both of yourselves, because I can only imagine Candace is on tour 24/7, performing her song Drive Back for the 100th time. What is Chris doing at home? Just walking back and forth, waiting for Candace to get home just so he could piss on her. Like, that is crazy. No job, no nothing. Just piss and vibes. Like, that is crazy. But so then Mia shares and she's like, well, I mean, I used to do it until me and Gordon got married, which I didn't know there was a cutoff period, but good to know, I guess. So she continues and she's like, but I do enjoy eating ass. And I'm like, oh, okay, Mia, so you like to get behind Gordon and, get a little taste? Okay, I like that. It's fine. I used to be one of those that would think, oh, that's nasty. That's gross. Who would do such a thing? Until I saw the light. And now I see it as, how do I say it? Delicious. But then Giselle, she asked Karen, so Karen, do you put the balls in your mouth? And I'm like, excuse me, Giselle, where is the class? You do not talk to the grand dame like this. Even Karen was appalled. She was like, excuse me, Giselle, you do not speak to me like that. And besides, Giselle, you already know the answer anyway. According to Charisse, she's only going to put, balls in her mouth if you have blue eyes and if you're at the nightclub in a closet with her. So, allegedly. I'm just kidding, Karen. I'm just kidding. I'm playing her. I love you. But it was cute to see them all have conversations like this and, to finally laugh and have a good time for once. The following morning, everybody meets up in Ashley's room wearing their pajamas. They're eating breakfast. Ashley, she passes out whiteboards to everybody because the first group activity is going to be a bonding experience where you get to paint your own version of what you think your vagina looks like and then show it to each other. Ashley, I don't know what kind of trip you think you're hosting, but this is not that type of party. So everyone's looking at her like, no, we're not doing that. So Karen, she starts it off with Robyn by telling her, well, Robyn, me and Candace and Wendy, we wouldn't know what's going on between you and Juan Dixon. You never told us this information. You withheld it from us on your Patreon, and that's not fair, Robyn. You need to be held accountable. So Robyn, she was like, well, I mean, I only reached out to the people who reached out to me. That's it. Candace was like, well, I mean, I reached out to you. I never heard from you. Robyn was like, well, I mean, you were talking about me on interviews in a bad way. You were talking about me online. What do you expect? So Candace was like, well, I mean, your situation affected us in a negative aspect as well. And their issue is that Robyn, again, we're on a reality TV show where you're supposed to share your life. But Robyn, you withheld this huge thing that was going on with you behind a Patreon, which, by the way, Giselle, she was killing me in the background. It's only $5. Still promoting her business, right? But that's the main issue, that you had this information going on with you and you never withheld. I mean, yeah, you talked about it with your close friends, you said, and Giselle off camera, but it's not fair that every other season you have gone after Karen, Wendy, and even Candace last season to a certain capacity. And now that they're returning the favor, all of a sudden it's too much for you. You can't handle it. Stop the questioning. The same situation that's going on with Kyle Richards over on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is the same situation that Robyn is trying to pull on this show. She's like, oh, well, I already discussed it with my friends and Giselle off the show in a private conversation. It's a reality TV show, Robyn. We need to see that conversation on camera. So she gets defensive, of course, and she gets up. She's like, go ahead. Say whatever you have to say. Go ahead. And then she starts spinning around. And all I can see is that big wedgie deep in her ass. Like, she had that pajama, like, deep in her ass. And I'm like, ooh, Robyn, at least take that out before you start spinning around trying to make a fool out of yourself. She's like, go ahead, say whatever you want. So she sits back down and Candace asked her, so, what's going on with this whole DM that Juan allegedly got from his mistresses? How did that go? Did you read the messages? And then Robyn, she pulled out every excuse in the book for them. And she's like, oh, no. When he got the messages, he would just delete it because he didn't have space on his phone. He had like 2 gigabytes and he told me that he was going to go to Verizon to get more. So that's why he just deleted everything. I didn't care to read it either. I know he's a faithful man anyway. Besides, he's a coach. He needed his phone for his job. He got messages. He got a whole bunch of things. He's a good man. And I'm like, huh? Even Wendy broke the fourth wall because she's looking at her with her BS lies and she's like, and then she looks right into the camera. Like, same Wendy, same Robyn is just so far gone. At this point, there's no reason for them to continue questioning Robyn because she's never going to hold Juan accountable for anything. She's never going to hold herself accountable for anything for withholding this information from the show, from the group. So it's just a lost cause at this point. And honestly, I'm just waiting for her to say, no, guys, he was cheating because it was making our marriage stronger. Like, I'm just waiting for it. Ashley wants to split the group up, which I don't know why. I prefer all of them being together, but, you know, one group is going to go to a distillery, the other is going to go boot shopping. Okay, Ashley, I don't know. Your hosting skills are a little bit questionable, you know, but I do have my chart and I need to update it on whether Juan was in the episodes or not. So let me get it. So far this season, we have had 6 episodes in total. He has been in episode 1, 2, 3, and 4. He was not in episode 5. And now I need to update it because he wasn't in episode 6. And here it is. Yikes. You know, Juan, you had a good start. And I thought we were going somewhere. And then last week, you kind of, you messed it up. And now, Robyn, you did all of that swallowing. And for what? Karen, Wendy, Mia, and Candace head out to a distillery to taste some alcohol. They taste some samples, they sit down, and then in the distance, we hear a bird chirping, right? Mia, she tells Wendy, that's not your mama, is it? Mia, see now, if Wendy would have returned the favor back to you and would have made a joke about your mom, knowing what we know about her so far, would it have been funny to you? I don't think so. So let's not take it there. It's too soon. You two are just now kind of talking to each other. So Wendy was like, please don't make jokes about my mom like that. So they start talking about the whole shrine situation that Aneka brought up. And Wendy, she starts explaining that, people view it as a negative thing. And now they're looking at her mom like she's a negative person. And then she starts crying and it reminded me of that scene with Candy on Watch What Happens Live with Andy when she was defending Mama Joyce when she was like,
I don't care. My mom could tweet whatever she wants. That's my mama. She could have whatever she wants because she's my mama.
Same scenario. But I did feel for Wendy. I don't like seeing her cry. Meanwhile, we see the other group. Ashley, Giselle, who is it? Robyn. Robyn and Aneka. What were they doing? I don't know, they were bullshitting, but Aneka, she was talking about how her and her husband, they're gonna have a traditional wedding in Nigeria, and that's that. Eventually, both groups, they get together because both these activities were kind of pointless. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, let's head out to Las Vegas or New York City. Like, we're just sitting here. But eventually, they head out to this restaurant, they get together, and I believe they start talking about how Karen supposedly brought her little blue check mark on Twitter. And I remember to me, like, I always wanted to be verified on Instagram. I thought it was the coolest thing. But now that you can pay for it, it doesn't mean anything. But mind your business if you do see me with a blue check mark in the future. Mind your business, okay? So then Karen, she was like, I don't know where that's coming from. I need to talk to Apple. I've never paid for this. So eventually they were like, no, you did. Let me show you the receipts. And come to find out that, yeah, she did pay it's $11 to get the little blue check mark. I don't know. Maybe it might be worth it. I don't know. I want to feel official, right? So that was that. Mia, she wants to be messy, so she asks Ashley,
what's going on with the divorce between you and Michael? Like, what's the update with that?
Ashley, we all know that she's not getting a divorce, right? She's like, we're like separated and, my dream will be for him to take the kids on the weekend, every other weekend, and I could have them during the week. Yeah, Ashley, until I actually see it on paper, I'm not buying whatever she's selling. So then Mia, she moves it down to Candace. She's just going one by one. She's like, it's like Candace, like, what's going on with you in the lawsuit? So Candace was like, what lawsuit? What are you talking about? Like Michael, like Ashley Darby's husband, like he's like suing you or something, like, right? So Candace was like, well, I can't really talk about that right now. It's an ongoing case, especially with the ex-wife or current wife, sneaky link, whatever you want to call it. She's sitting right in front of Candace. Whatever Ashley hears from Candace's mouth concerning this, I'm pretty sure she's gonna take it to Michael to use for his advantage. Like, she's not dumb. Sort of. So then Robyn, this is where Robyn kills me again, because Robyn, she looks over at Candace and she's like, so can we not talk about it? Like, what? So we pick and choose what we talk about now on this show? And I'm like, I know it's not Robyn Dixon saying that. Like, Robyn, you cannot be serious. Just like two seconds ago, you were bitching and moaning in the hotel room saying, oh, why is everybody questioning me? Why does everybody want to know? Why does everybody this, that, and the third? And now you're doing the same thing to Candace. That is crazy. That is insane to me. Like, and I wish that Candace would have told Robyn, well, if you want to know about my lawsuit, you could sign up for my Patreon. It's only $5. That would have stung. But she tells Robyn, well, Robyn, please don't be dense right now. Like, I can't talk about an ongoing lawsuit. Please don't be dense. So Robyn, again, she gets in her feelings again, starts throwing a tantrum. Like, really? We can't talk about it. We can't talk about it. Like, Robyn, you are in no say of who can talk about anything in this group anymore. So just please save it. So eventually, I believe Wendy, she starts questioning Robyn about, her ongoing case. Like, damn, this is like the real lawsuits of Potomac. This is crazy. You get a lawsuit, you get a divorce, you get a lawsuit. This is ridiculous. They start talking about the reason why Juan allegedly got fired from his job and everything. And Robyn, she starts giving every excuse in the book, like, oh no, this is a number 9 with a number 2, a number 6. It's a classified 360, whatever. I don't know what she was saying, but it honestly, all I heard was womp, 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 womp. Because of course she's been defending his actions this entire season, so this makes no difference. She's not gonna just magically switch up on him now, like, oh yeah, he got fired because of this, and this. That's why. Of course not. She has a bag of excuses, a bag of tricks. So that was that. Eventually, they leave the restaurant. They start walking to the hotel, and Giselle, she starts whispering like, so what? We have to make a list of certain things we can or cannot talk about? First of all, let's talk about you. Let's start there. You and Robyn demanding other people to talk about themselves. That is crazy. But eventually, that's that. Ashley, she has this activity called Chicken Bingo. And yeah, Ashley, yeah, you get an F. You get an F for hosting, because what is that? But they leave the hotel for this activity, and in one car we have Wendy, Mia, Candace, and Robyn. They're telling Robyn, oh, Robyn, the fact that you could be in the same car with Candace right next to her, that's pretty impressive. Why did they say that to her? Because next thing you know, Robyn, she starts trembling, she starts shaking, she starts crying, and she's like, no. No, because it's not fair. You guys are accusing Juan Dixon of being a bad person, and that's not right. And then Candace is looking at her like, please don't cry. Please don't. I don't have a tissue. Which I'm shocked because, Candace, she's known for her crying goals, which we haven't seen at all this season so far. But she's like, no, please don't cry. Please don't cry. So they're trying to calm her down. She starts spiraling. She starts crying because she doesn't like that they're accusing or they're hinting at Juan being fired from his job for doing X, Y, and Z. And do I feel bad? So anyway, so that was that, and it was left at a to be continued. And I mean, at this point, I feel like she's not only just crying because of that, or maybe she is just crying because of that, but I feel like it's also a buildup of emotions, because for 6 episodes straight, she has been dealing with everybody looking at her like, are you dumb? And now I feel like it's kind of reached its boiling point, and she's gonna have a whole meltdown by next episode. So, it's crazy, but Robyn, I don't know what to say anymore about you, but let me know what you all thought about this whole entire episode down in the comments. Bye, everybody. Mwah.